Welcome to Deep Dive by the Quiet Footnote. Today, we're really diving deep into a book that's, well, it's incredibly insightful, but also, I guess, deliciously unsettling. Nassim Nicholas Taleb's Fooled by Randomness.
Oh, absolutely. It's not one you just read and put down, is it?
No way. It sticks with you. It makes you question things, leaves you feeling, I don't know, both amused and kind of profoundly challenged.
That's a good way to put it. And, our mission today is really to pull out those core insights from Taleb, spotlight the common illusions he just dismantles, and talk about why it feels so relevant right now.
Especially now, yeah, with everything going on, particularly, the whole AI explosion.
Exactly. What do these ideas mean in the age of AI? That's key.
So we're going to aim to distill, say, 5 key takeaways for you, things you can actually use. And then explore, okay, what next? How do you weave these ideas into your own thinking, your own life?
Because let's face it, in this world of, easy answers and Instagram success stories, Taleb's work feels like a scalpel.
Yeah, cutting through the noise. Okay, let's get into it.
So the absolute core of Taleb's argument, really, is this fundamental flaw we have. We consistently, almost pathologically, underestimate the role of just pure chance, randomness.
And at the same time, we massively overestimate our own skill, our own control over things.
Precisely. And he's not just talking about, casinos or coin flips. He applies this to everything, markets, careers, even the stories we tell ourselves about why we succeeded.
And his voice. It's so unique, isn't it? It's like part statistician, part philosopher.
And maybe part stand-up comic who enjoys a bit of schadenfreude.
Huh. Yeah, exactly. Like he's both fascinated and completely exasperated by how our minds work, or rather how they don't work sometimes.
Right. His perspective forces you to look at uncomfortable stuff, like that line between genius and lucky fool. He suggests it's razor thin.
He basically says a lot of geniuses are just, well, fools with great PR and a really good lucky streak. Ouch.
It's provocative for sure. And this applies to history, too. He argues history isn't this neat story of cause and effect we like to think it is.
No, it's more like etchable. Accidents who happen to survive to tell the tale. Selective memory.
Which leads right into what he calls the narrative fallacy, that deep urge we have to make sense of chaos after it happens, to fit it all into a nice, tidy story.
We crave those neat explanations.
We do. And it's dangerous, like confusing a period where you haven't had losses yet with some kind of invincible strategy.
Yeah.
For that one bad roll, that one black swan event wipes the slate clean.
There's that quote of his that just nails it.
Wild success can be explained by skill and hard work. Wild success is attributable to variance.
That's the one. Variance, luck, chance. It hits hard.
It really does. And it perfectly tees up all the myths, the illusions, the sort of dangerous blind spots he goes after in the book. He's a master myth buster.
Okay, let's tackle some of those. Myth number 1 has to be success equals skill. Always.
Yeah, it's our default setting, right? See, the success assumed talent. But Taleb says, hold on, many winners are just statistical outliers.
People who caught a lucky wave.
Exactly. He uses the example of traders, making steady money in a bull market. They look like geniuses.
Until the music stops.
Until the first downturn hits. And suddenly they're wiped out, their skill. Maybe it was mostly just being in the right place at the right time during the upswing.
Which flows right into the next myth he demolishes. Past performance predicts future results.
Ah, the famous turkey problem. Love this one.
Explain it quickly. It's brilliant.
Okay, so imagine you're a turkey. Every single day, the farmer feeds you. Delicious food, reliable schedule. Every day reinforces your belief. This farmer loves me. Life is good and predictable.
You gather more data points confirming your safety.
More and more evidence until
Thanksgiving morning.
Exactly. The very thing that seemed like proof of safety was actually masking a huge hidden risk. Apparent stability doesn't mean real stability. It can hide extreme fragility.
It's such a simple, powerful idea. It really undermines so many assumptions, which links to myth number 3. Good results mean it was a good decision.
Oh yeah, we do this all the time. Outcome bias. If it worked out, must have been a smart move.
But Taleb pushes back hard on that. He says, look, a terrible decision can get bailed out by luck. And a really sound, well-reasoned decision can just get crushed by bad luck.
The key takeaway there is focusing on the process. Was your reasoning sound? Was your approach robust? That matters more in the long run than the result of any single roll of the dice.
Right. Process over outcome. Easier said than done sometimes, though.
Definitely. Then there's myth number 4. Building on that narrative fallacy. The world is neat, predictable, cause and effect.
We wish.
Right. Taleb says so much of what happens is just random noise, and we're the ones stitching it into stories after the fact to make ourselves feel better, feel like we understand.
Like historians explaining why a war had to happen, or pundits explaining exactly why the market moved yesterday.
When nobody actually knew beforehand. It's all post hoc rationalization.
And who do we turn to for predictions in this chaos? Experts. Which brings us to myth 5. Expertise guarantees accuracy.
Taleb is particularly, scathing about this one, especially in fields dominated by randomness, finance, politics, forecasting complex events.
He argues their predictions are often no better than chance, like flipping a coin.
Pretty much. And the real danger isn't just being wrong, it's the confidence. The utter certainty projected by some experts, that's what leads to really bad decisions.
Okay, myth 6. High risk equals high reward, so it's always worth chasing. The sort of go big or go home mantra.
Yeah, Taleb throws cold water on that. His point is incredibly stark. If there is any non-negligible chance of ruin, complete wipeout,
Then the potential reward doesn't matter.
it becomes irrelevant. Because ruin means game over. You're out. You can't come back from zero. Survival is paramount.
Which connects tightly to the last big one, myth 7. What you see is all there is.
Survivorship bias. This one is huge. We only see the winners, the survivors, the successful companies, the famous artists, the traders who made it big.
We don't see the massive graveyard of failures, the thousands who tried the same thing and didn't make it.
Exactly. And because that graveyard is invisible, success looks way more common and much easier to replicate than it actually is. It distorts our whole perception of risk and possibility.
Wow. Okay, so he laid all this out back in 2001, but these ideas, they feel even sharper now, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. The urgency has only grown. I mean, think about social media today.
It's survivorship bias on steroids, right?
Totally. Every platform is flooded with the highlight reels. The Instagram entrepreneurs living the dream, the TikTok traders making millions overnight, or so it seems. Viral overnight success.
You only see the 1% that worked out, maybe even less. The graveyard of failed ventures, failed trades, failed attempts, completely hidden.
And this ties into the AI era, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to see an AI make a string of correct predictions or generate impressive outputs and think, wow, it's truly intelligent, it understands.
When it might just be statistical luck, good pattern matching on past data.
Exactly. It could just be luck, dressed up in a very convincing digital suit. The turkey problem applies perfectly to algorithms. An AI might perform flawlessly for ages in one environment.
Until conditions shift unexpectedly, and it completely fails because it never truly understood the underlying dynamics. It was just extrapolating from the past, like the turkey.
That's a huge risk we need to consider as we integrate AI more deeply.
And financial markets. I mean, since 2008, we've had crash after crash, meme stock mania, crypto booms and busts. It feels like a playground for randomness, mistaken for genius.
Absolutely. And Taleb's principle, avoid ruin at all costs, isn't just advice there. It's like the prime directive for survival in those kinds of volatile environments.
Politics, too. Pundits, leaders, even voters. We constantly create these confident-sounding stories to explain events that are often just random fluctuations, noise.
Why is phrase certainty even when it's an illusion?
And maybe the biggest one recently is seeing the fragility in global systems, the pandemic, supply chains just collapsing.
Yeah, things that looked incredibly solid, incredibly robust, turned out to be brittle. They failed almost overnight.
It drives home that point about designing for resilience, doesn't it? Not just efficiency, but the ability to withstand shocks.
It's a survival imperative now. Taleb's quiet warning seems to be, don't just ask why something worked. Ask what could have gone wrong but just happened not to yet.
That's chilling. So beneath all this sharp analysis, this myth-busting, you feel there's a deeper current, right? An unheard message.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It runs underneath everything. It's about, well, ego, humility, and how to stay grounded, how to stay human in a world you fundamentally can't control.
And some concepts just hit harder on that level, like revisiting the turkey problem. It's not just an intellectual idea. It feels like a gut punch.
It really is his most elegant demolition of that proof by repetition illusion. Just because it's been safe so far doesn't mean tomorrow's guaranteed. It forces a deep humility about what we think we know.
And survivorship bias. When you really get it, viscerally, you stop just idolizing winners.
Right. You start seeing the invisible graveyard they're standing on. It makes you instantly skeptical of any success formula that doesn't acknowledge the failures.
That shift in focus, prioritizing the process over the outcome. You said it's liberating.
I think it is, yeah. It changes your internal scorecard. You start valuing how you decided, the quality of your reasoning, more than just whether you got lucky this time. A bad outcome from a good process. Well, that's different from a bad outcome from a bad process.
It takes the ego out of it a bit.
It does. And that small probability of ruin principle.
Hmm.
It's so brutal, so simple.
If it can wipe you out completely, just don't do it. Doesn't matter how shiny the upside looks.
It reframes risk-taking entirely. It's not about bravado. It's about survival strategy, ensuring you live to play another day.
And you have to appreciate his almost gleeful poking at overconfident experts.
Oh, yeah. His disdain is palpable.
Right.
But it serves a purpose, right? It sharpens your skepticism. Makes you question anyone speaking with absolute certainty about uncertain things. Confidence itself becomes a red flag sometimes.
So this quieter message, it's about personal wisdom, too.
Definitely. Things like, stop needing the universe or your results to constantly validate you. Detach your identity from outcomes.
That's hard.
It is. And understanding that vanity, ego, it's fragile. Building inner calm, resilience, that's more robust.
And the idea that survival itself is the first win, just staying in the game is the primary edge.
And maybe, just maybe, learning to kind of enjoy the dance with chaos a bit. Randomness isn't only destructive, it's where novelty comes from. Serendipity, unexpected opportunities.
It forces this realization, then, that maybe some of your smartest moves were happy accidents.
Exactly. And that's humbling, but also freeing, right?
Yeah. Failure isn't always proof you messed up, and success isn't always proof you're brilliant. Sometimes.
Sometimes it's just the dice, the way things happen to fall.
Okay. So, bringing this all together for you, our listener, what are the core actionable takeaways? We aimed for 5 key principles from Taleb.
Right. 5 things to really internalize, like a compass. First, and this is the big one, don't confuse luck with skill. Just don't. Assume randomness plays a huge role in most big successes you see. Look deeper.
Second, judge the process, not just the outcome. Focus on making sound decisions based on good reasoning, regardless of the immediate result. Good process wins over time.
Third, crucially, avoid ruin at all costs. If a risk, any risk, carries even a small chance of wiping you out completely, financially, reputationally, whatever, don't take it. Survival first.
Fourth, beware survivorship bias. Actively remember the invisible graveyard of failures. Before you copy a strategy, ask, how many failed doing this? Why don't we hear about them?
And fifth, respect uncertainty and build optionality. Stop trying to predict the future precisely. It's futile. Instead, build flexibility. Diversify. Have buffers. Create options so you can adapt when inevitably randomness strikes.
So wrapping it all up, Fooled by Randomness is this incredibly witty, unflinching book.
Yeah, a reminder that so much of what looks like success is just luck in a good disguise.
And that the only real defenses we have against the chaos we can't see coming are things like humility, resilience,
And flexible thinking. Adaptability.
For you listening now, especially if you're involved in anything creative or entrepreneurial, maybe the takeaway is ensuring you've built enough resilience.
Right. Enough buffer so that one unlucky break, one bad chord, doesn't end the whole performance. It's about playing the long game.
Okay, here's a final thought for you to chew on. Don't spend your life trying to prove you deserved your wins. Spend it building a life, a project, a system that's strong enough not to break when the dice inevitably roll against you.
Well said.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.